You're live. Hello, hello, hello. Meaning to get started on this YouTube channel for a while, but it kind of took a few detours. I'm enjoying my life. If you can see my paintings, yep, I'm now a painter. Um, I love painting. I love accessing my feminine side, and I love doing things without needing them to turn into something or to bring results or to bring money or to be perfect. And that's really nice. So that brings me to what I want to talk about. The big thing now is presence. Uh, I think I always knew about it. I started reading The Power of Now, I think in the 90s, and it scared the shit out of me. Especially when he started talking about time not being real. I thought, wow, man, that doesn't feel good. I think I'm going to have to put that one down for a while. I loved reading his work. Uh, I think I've kind of followed him, Eckhart Tolle, off and on for 15 years. Um, so I knew the wisdom. I needed the wisdom, but the fear was always there. And I thought it was just everybody. We're all afraid to go there, go there. Uh, and, I just couldn't get past that. But I didn't stop, and life kicked my butt. And through a succession of events, I ended up going through some old trauma. It was very difficult, but I knew it was needed. It's not something I really chose. I felt drawn through this. And then, like, all of a sudden, I'm back there with Eckhart Tolle about a year ago. And that was at the end of some heavy post traumatic stress from a lot of childhood abuse. And I was kind of out there on my own and living it, feeling it, and trying to hang on, which I don't advise anybody go through it alone. Uh, it's part of my story. I can do it. I will do it. I don't need any help. I don't trust anybody. And I've done everything really the hard way. It's a miracle that I have made it through because I just don't give up. Uh, I have absolute faith, and I believe that's how come I'm here today. But getting back, I could not get rooted. All of this childhood crap, but I had no place to ground. You have to be grounded, rooted. And if, like me, you didn't have that place as a child and you've kind of been winging it your whole life, you need to find the tools to get yourself back into here and now. So I did trust that what I needed would come to me, and it did. Uh, I think I started seriously following him, and I tried a couple of his techniques, and boom, it was pretty harsh, but I was able to reconnect with the now, even though I was revisiting old trauma. I mean, that's the only way to come back and become conscious and awake is to tell yourself this is all there is. And at first, it doesn't work. You know, you have to keep sitting still and allowing the thoughts to go ahead and move along like they always have, but be the watcher. It's an art, it's a skill, it's something we know how to do though, because we do have a deeper self. There is more going on here, not out there. We don't need out there. Uh, we need each other. But everything we need to heal, to be whole, to be our true self, to connect with that faith is inside of us. I was determined to have that after a lifetime of feeling disconnected, of not knowing if I had an identity, uh, always feeling separated and trying to connect, but it was always through my mind. I mean, that was just a way of life. I remembered when, and so I was always seeking something in my mind. Well, it's reality, uh, and I had to believe that. And as Eckhart Tolle says, faith is taking something for granted and just doing it until you know. And that is exactly where I had to place my beliefs. I'm not meant to suffer. I'm not meant to struggle every day. Uh, I trust and I believe this because, first of all, it's not something I want for my children. And how can I keep telling them this is what you do? Just trust it. Mom knows. Okay, it's going to be okay. When I don't believe it. So that is kind of what pushed me out there uh, 5 years ago. If it is, it is. I'm going after it. And I didn't give myself any back doors. I didn't have any more things to become addicted to and find out where they led. I had exhausted all other avenues. So I had no choice. And that is the miracle, honestly. When you are at that bottom and you have nowhere else to go and you can't give up, what is giving up? Suicide? I'm not made that way. I don't know what that song is, but I love it. It's like, I don't know how to give up. It's not part of my genetic makeup. Uh, and a lot of people have always thought that was a weakness, but I know today it wasn't a weakness. I don't want to give up. I don't want to die. I want to be happy, whole, and free. And it took me a long time. It doesn't have to take you a long time. And so many people are suffering. So many people are lost, as I have been. Uh, but today I feel rooted. I feel safe. I feel present. So where do you go to find presence? You don't have to go anywhere. But we do need to follow the guides that have gone before us. As I've been told, only the masters were able to access this. Only the very few. And that is probably why we've all been wandering around. When somebody tells you that, that's what you believe. I don't believe that. I believe we all have this built into us. We are meant to go beyond this old paradigm. And many of us are. So presence is something I practice every day. Uh, I don't have a definition for it. I don't even think I can say I'm very present. I just know that I do the things that I've watched Eckhart Tolle do and many, many others. And it's gotten easier and easier and easier. I don't have to define myself. And that is wonderful. I just am, and this is it. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I just trust there's enough in there to share and hopefully in a way that inspires you to try these tools, which for me, I have watched hundreds of his videos. Uh, in the beginning, they just brought me presence. They brought me comfort. They gave me hope. Um, and then I got uncomfortable, so I plugged them in. And that's all I've been doing. I'm a trained hypnotherapist, a life coach. Uh, I have all the tools, but I don't need them anymore. Uh, this is enough right here, right now. And when it isn't, I just come back and I pay attention to my breathing. I sit still. I stop focusing on everything else. And sometimes I just think about my hands and the energy. And it always works. It's not always easy. Sometimes my mind wants to go over here, over there, and I want to go, why can't I just stop that? But I don't. I just accept it and sit there. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it doesn't take so long. Always helps me. So it's the repetition, it's the faith, it's the stepping out of all the other lanes and just being still. Uh, I remember I have this video I did about 5 years ago, and it's called Silence is Sexy. It's like, how beautiful is it to walk out at night when it's snowing and it's just getting dark and you can't hear anything? I mean, that is presence. So that's where you want to bring your attention to, and that's all there is to it. It's simple, but we've been trained to think outside of ourselves. We've been trained to listen to all these voices, the media, others. We've been trained that we have nothing. None of that is true. So I'm going to try to bring what I have each and every day. If it helps, let me know. If not, I'm sure you'll find your own path. But I definitely recommend Eckhart Tolle and his videos. He has so many. Each and every one is full of nuggets and pointers to an experience that is beyond what we've been taught. So I hope everybody has a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.